Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a good day. I've not done a video in a wee while because I've not really been well. I went and got my COVID vaccine jag last week, a couple of days ago. And I ended up really unwell because of it. But that's completely normal, normal side effects, stuff like that. And then the last 3 days or so I've had really bad toothache. And actually was going to film this video a few days ago, and then tooth started playing up. I can't catch a break. It's constant. If it's not the flu, it's toothache. If it's not toothache, it's fucking something else. There's always something, like, honestly. Hey bitches! No, joking. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Excuse me. I hope you're all having a good day. I hope you're all coping okay in lockdown. I hope I'm so happy. Like, McDonald's finally delivered to my street. Thank the Lord in the heavens above. So, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a random colour generator picks my eye makeup. So, I wanted to film this video a few days ago, but knowing my luck, I ended up getting toothache. Had to get my tooth extracted. I'm actually still a wee bit sore and sensitive and a wee bit lispy, so if I'm talking weird, it is due to my tooth. I'm trying to just, keep it clean, because it was really, like, I actually got the tooth extracted. Like, I was like that to the dentist, can you, like, no, ow, that hurt, that really hurt. Why am I doing this? So, it took her ages to get it out. Like, I legit thought that tooth was not for moving. I was like, honey, this tooth is planted its wee self in my body, in my gums, and it is not for moving. It was like this to the dentist. Bitch, I ain't coming out. And she twisted, and honestly, so my jaw and everything is so sore just for the her twisting it, applying pressure. I woke up this morning and I had, like, blood all down my mouth because obviously I've slept, it started bleeding. So I can't catch a break. I've been unwell for the last 6 months, on and off. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm hanging to shreds. Like, I really am. So let's honestly, I can't go. I'm so unwell. Anyways, Zen. So I want to do a random random generator picks my eyeshadow look. So the first colour that, when I done the generator that I picked, I'll try and throw it up at the side of the screen, was green. So we'll start with green first, and then we'll add the other eyeshadows as we're going along. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to prime my face, and I'm going to use my Rimmel Perfect Primer. And I'm just going to, because not to prime is a crime. But what I also thought would be quite interesting, which I don't know if you guys would be interested, if I do this today and you like it, please let me know. I was thinking of doing like a oil and doing makeup videos, like finding like a wee mystery or some conspiracy theories to talk about, because I don't know about anyone else, but I'm like really into like conspiracy theories and true crime and murder mystery and just, all that kind of crime stuff. Like, it really interests me. And I could just sit for hours upon hours and just read about it. So I want to maybe talk through this video about a conspiracy theory. I want to actually talk about the Illuminati and Bohemian Grove and the elites. So I've actually been interested in the Illuminati and all this for years. It's only recently that people have actually started getting into it and talking about it. But this has actually been an issue that I have been interested in for like a long time, and that I've actually knew about for a long time, way before the hype and anyone started talking about it. I'm just going to colour correct. I'm going to use green to cover up any wee red spots I've got. It's actually been something that I've been interested in, and the Illuminati they're a really old secret society that formed back in the 1800s. and they were actually revolutionaries, and they've actually been accused of actually starting the French Revolution and a lot of wars and stuff back in that time. They were modernisers. And they were actually against the Catholic religion. They did consist of religious, powerful people, but they were actually against like really heavy religion, because back in those times, like the Catholic Church were like the bees, like the end of it. Like they were like in power, they were in control, like they were everywhere. You couldn't say anything against the Catholic Church, or you would be like hung, or it'd be like a crime. So like the Catholic Church and religion like really ruled really heavily, and the Illuminati were like against that. So they were like they were just like, they were modernisers, and obviously they got to, I'm just going to check what colour this is. They got caught by the Catholic Church because they were trying to start their own religion. So they were, and they actually got found out, and they were caught by the Catholic Church. And a lot of the people that were in the Illuminati were actually brought to prosecution and were actually charged with going against the Catholic Church, and it was actually known as like it was a crime that they were doing. So they were actually drove underground, and then they were never actually heard of like again. Like they were drove underground, and that's how they're known as becoming like a secret society, because they were like drove underground, and then they started having to work in secret, because obviously, you know, people that were in the group were brought to death and stuff like that from the Catholic Church. So any of the remaining members that were left had to go underground and hide and really keep it hush hush and really keep it secret. So a little bit on the Illuminati, like people's perceptions on them. The Illuminati, they're actually meant to consist of the most powerful, elitist people in the world. So you're talking about the British royal family, your big corporations, your bankers, all these heavy, rich, powerful, influential people. There's meant to be 13 bloodline families in the world that are the richest families in the world. The only two that I can really remember is some of the royal families, which is the British royal family, the German royal family, and the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds are big business people, and they're big bankers. Like they own a lot of the banks. So the Illuminati are meant to consist of all these really rich, powerful, elitist people and all these royal families and stuff like that. And they're meant to be a very small, elitist, rich group that are actually really behind the shadows, behind the curtain, running the world, pulling the strings and making decisions of what's actually going to go on in the world. A lot of other people that are assumed to be involved are celebrities. And they say that the reason that a lot of celebrities are involved in the Illuminati is because the Illuminati, anybody that's got that much influence and that much power over society, join the Illuminati, or it's like they have to at least pledge to them that they will work for them. But genuinely, what I think it could be, because I genuinely really believe in all this, what I think it could be is, I think that it's not maybe so the celebrity themselves that's involved, it's more the celebrity's management or the music company that owns the celebrity that are in with the Illuminati, and they kind of push the agenda without really letting the celebrity know that they're pushing this agenda in their music or their music videos or their visuals. Because if you watch a lot of music videos back, you see a lot of the Illuminati symbolism, whether it's the triangle, the all-seeing eye, the upside down cross. And a lot of these music videos have a lot of Illuminati symbolism and occult rituals, because the Illuminati are also accused of being witches, warlocks, being Satanists. They're meant to be involved in that dark occultist kind of world, which is very interesting, which, do you know, genuinely, I believe, like, I don't think that's a far stretch at all. I really don't. I believe that, because when you watch a lot of music videos, they do have a lot of dark undertones and a lot of kind of Luciferian messages. So the Illuminati are accused of being Satanists and devil worshippers. A man, a journalist, I can't actually remember his name, but if you Google it, you will find this article and this piece that he wrote. He was a journalist, and a lot of these elites, like presidents, members of government and stuff like that, they all go to this wee retreat every summer, and they usually go from June till about August. And no one actually knows what goes on in this retreat. It's actually called Bohemian Grove. It's like a gentleman's club, but it's a gentleman club for the really, really wealthy and the rich, and it is mostly members of government and your bankers and people with power that go. And they do all these weird rituals, and you know, it's very, very hush hush, very secret. It's all gated. No media is allowed in. No one's allowed to take pictures. You're not allowed to really tell anyone what you're doing or what goes on. You know, you're meant to sign a non-disclosure and all that. Like, it is very elitist. So a journalist snuck in a few years back now, and if you actually Google this, you'll find the footage. He actually videoed them doing their rituals, and they were doing like a mock child sacrifice. And this is another thing about the Illuminati, which I'll get into later, about like child sacrifice and trafficking and all that. So they were all gathered around this big like fire. I'm just putting my foundation on now after I've colour corrected. They were all gathered around this fire, and they were gathered around this false like Luciferian statue stone god kind of thing. And there's this weird eerie music playing, and they've got fires burning, and they're all in red cloaks with their hoods up. If anyone has ever saw the film Eyes Wide Shut, then you'll know what I'm talking about. If you've not seen this film, I would advise you go and watch it, because this will make so much more sense. You know, they're just dressed really eerily in red cloaks, chanting, you know, and they've got this mock like baby doll that they're all gathered around. And then they consist to like start cutting this like fake baby doll up, which is, even though it's not real, why would you do a mock sacrifice to like a child? Like, what? That's weird. And this guy caught this in camera. He didn't get any more footage, because during it the footage does cut out. But you do see these people in red cloaks around this fire with this like child on this like stone table. They're all chanting. I think they're maybe chatting, and it sounds like Latin, but I'm not too sure. I could be wrong. If anyone can translate what they're saying, it does sound like Latin though. And then they're just like screaming, and they all start going and all that, like just being really, really weird. Like, what, girl, bye. Like, it is strange. And the reason that I referred to Eyes Wide Shut is because that's a film made by Stanley Kubrick. This mouth ain't gonna let me say that. And that was meant to be his artistic vision of kind of letting us have, you know, a peek into the world of the rich, the powerful, and what actually goes on behind closed doors, and what actually goes on at these crazy Illuminati, elitist, Luciferian parties. Like, it's people naked, people chanting, doing weird rituals, sex orgies, you know, mock sacrifices. It's so strange. And I think when you really start getting into all this, you start kind of connecting the dots, and you start kind of looking at stuff and reading up about stuff, and you start to really notice it. Like, when you start kind of looking at like music videos and stuff like that, you start to see these kind of Illuminati symbolism. You really, really do. So if anybody goes and watches some Katy Perry music videos back, some Kesha music videos, Beyonce, whoever it is in most of these celebrities' videos, you will start to notice the same pattern and the same symbolism. The reason I want to talk about Eyes Wide Shut is because that film, it's about this guy, Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman. This guy he's really powerful. Him and his witch are really... He's witch. That's because we're talking about like rituals and shit. Him and his wife are rich. He's a really, really rich, wealthy doctor. but they're like friends with this like upper echelons people, like these really wealthy people, and they go to this party, and he gets introduced to this doctor. They become friends, they start talking. The doctor runs down and says that a girl, like they're having the parties in this doctor's big mansion, and Nicole Kidman and him are there. So Tom Cruise goes up to this guy's office and sees that there's a naked girl on the couch, passed out. She looks as if she's overdosing. And the reason that is because the Illuminati and the elite are also accused of using a lot of drugs and stuff at these parties to kind of drug prostitutes or drug women to rape them, carry out their weird sacrifices, do whatever that is like that these fucked up rich people want to do. Like that is some white rich people shit, honestly. So they're known for doing that. So Tom Cruise got up, this girl's drugged. The doctor's like, oh, I don't know what happened. She took something and she's just passed out and whatever. And Tom Cruise consists and brings this girl back to life. The girl comes back to life. She doesn't say much in any way, and the film kind of moves on. But later on in the film, Tom Cruise goes to this mansion, and I think he goes to the mansion because he gets given a card. And as I said, these Illuminati parties are very exclusive. You can't just walk in, you have to be invited or be part of the inner circle. So Tom Cruise goes into this mansion. It's like a big, they actually used, how coincidental and weird is this, right? They actually used the Rothschild mansion to film this in. Connect the dots there if you want. So Tom Cruise goes in, he's welcomed by this weird people in masks, and they're also known for that, for having these weird balls and rituals and parties where they all wear masks and, you know, weird costumes, and it's just so strange. Like you honestly, when you start going down the rabbit hole with it's crazy. It is crazy. He goes into this room and there's these people in these black and red coats, cloaks with their hoods up, performing these really, really weird, strange sacrifices. Not sacrifices, sorry, this really, really weird ritual. They're all in a circle and they're chanting, and there's like half naked women, and they've got this like incense smoke stuff that they're burning, and they're just saying really weird stuff, chanting really weird stuff. And Tom Cruise doesn't know who's actually at the party because everyone is wearing masks, so no one actually reveals at the party who they are. So the party begins, and everyone just starts having like a huge orgy. Like everyone just starts having sex. Like it's so strange. And they're known for that as well, like their orgies and stuff like that. So everyone starts doing that, and Tom Cruise is kind of shocked and he leaves. But at the end of the film, he goes in back to this doctor's office, and the doctor reveals that he was at the party, and that the party is for rich people, and that all they do is have orgies and stuff like that. Nothing else sinister goes on. And Tom Cruise says, well, why is everyone wearing masks? And the doctor says, because they don't want to reveal their identity. And Tom Cruise is like, well, why not? And he's like, and the guy says, if I was to tell you who was there, you would never look at the world the same again. And then he goes on to say that celebrities, members of government, all that kind of stuff. And Tom Cruise is kind of shocked at this, but doesn't really ask him any more questions or investigate further into it. But that film, there's a lot to go into in that film and a lot to explain, so I really would advise you go and watch that film for yourself, and you'll see what I'm talking about, you know. And it does, you watch films like that, and then when you read up about the Illuminati, you're like, because the symbolism, it's crazy, because it's everywhere. Anyway, a lot of people as well have actually came out and said that as children they were trafficked to these Illuminati parties, and they were trafficked to these weird rituals in Bohemian Grove and like all this kind of stuff. Like a woman came up as well, you can also Google this, and said that as a child, and that's where the sex trafficking comes in as well, because it's all linked. I'm just going to conceal under my eyes. It's all linked supposedly. So a lot of these people have come out and spoke and said as children they were trafficked to these weird parties, and they said that a lot of people there were wealthy members of government. People said George Bush, Bill Clinton, George Bush's dad, the older one, can't actually remember his name. George Bush. What's the dad's name again? I totally forget. It's not George Bush, is it? I forget. Anyway, so they said that a lot of these powerful members of government were there, and these people said that as children they were sex trafficked and made to engage in child sacrifice, orgies, blood drinking. Like, they're known for that as well, like swatting blood, because it's meant to give them like this high, like this adrenaline rush. So it's like, if you get someone really, really, really scared to the point of like that, like you're torturing them that bad, their body produces this adrenaline rush, and it's like, you know, and it's meant to give if you kill someone while you're torturing them, it's like adrenaline. It's like there's a name for it. I can't really remember the name, but there is a name for it, and it's meant to really give you a high, and it's meant to be like a high and a rush like no other. And a lot of these elites are actually known for doing that because it's like a drug for them, and it gives them this pleasure and this high, and it's like, it's a whole sexual thing. Like, they're really, really weird. You watch films like Hostel and stuff like that, there's a scene where a woman goes in and tortures this girl until she's like at the point of like she is scared shitless, and then she starts slicing her and the blood goes on her, and this woman starts having this like weird high because of it. So it's weird how they intertwine that in films. That's really weird. So yeah, so this girl said that as a child she was took to Bohemian Grove and she was made to engage in hunting parties. And hunting parties are where the elite are known for this at these parties, but they say that it's just animals, like you know, livestock and stuff like that they go and hunt, you know, as I said again, rich people shit. And this girl said that her and other children were put in the middle of a forest, butt naked, and told to run. She said they were told to run, and she said she survived. She managed to survive. But she said other children were took away and she doesn't know what happened to them. They were made to run through the forest naked and run like animals, so these elites could like chase after them with their guns and hunt them. And they're known for that, like human hunting parties. And this girl said that while they were doing it, they played this weird song at a teddy bear's picnic. So if you Google this woman's story, I can't remember her name, I might put it in the box below this video, but if you definitely Google that woman, just if you put something like, don't be like fucking up your Google history, because if anyone sees that, they think you're fucked up, but women, I've just put women involved in human trafficking, teddy bear picnic or something like that, and you should get the articles that were there. And she's not the first. There's a lot of people that said as children they were trafficked for this purpose, you know, to be like Illuminati sex slaves basically, and join in all these fucked up stuff that all these elites do. And it's crazy when you really do start finding out about it and going down the rabbit hole. Like, it really makes you look at the world differently, and it makes you look at these elites differently. And it's strange to think that these people are the people that are in power and are running our country. A lot of decisions are said to be made at these like hunting parties as well, and like Bohemian Grove, a lot of like our world stuff that's going to happen in the world is all like decided there. So how crazy is that? Like, our future decided by these drunk, off their heads elites. Like, so also this video is obviously the random colour generator. So the first colour was green. So I'm going to take my moth palette, which has got shit on it. That's some product I don't want to waste. That's just a waste of product. It still had some baking powder on it. Don't want to waste the product. So the first colour obviously was green, so I'm going to go in with this green colour here, and I'm going to apply that to the outer corners of my eye. Anyways, back to our story. So yeah, a lot of important decisions are said to be made at these hunting parties, like really important world decisions. There's just so much to talk about this. I think I actually might do another video on it. But if you actually go and watch a video of, if think it's George Bush's dad. The older man that was the president before the younger one was, he actually says in one of his things, we want a new world order where the rule of law rules the rule of law governs the rule of the people, or something like that. I mean, what a strange thing to say. You know what I mean? Especially when the Illuminati's goal is a new world order, which is like where there's only one world government, and we're kind of under like the poor are really, really, really poor and the rich are really, really rich. There's no middle and no in between, no working class. It's just the really rich and really, really poor, and we're all slaves. Like, that is the, not that we're not already slaves as it is, but like they really want us to have no power. Like, they want us to just be their slaves. Like, they live in this world and they have a ball, you know, they do what they got to do, and we're just basically their slaves. Like, we have no say. Where, you know, and the reason that they want to do this is because they want a military police run state as well, where like the military are controlled by them. And like, if you think of the Hunger Games, like something along those lines, like that's really, really scary. So yeah, that's their kind of goal. It's like a one world government where the poor are really, really poor and the rich are really, really rich, and it's to keep their wealth and keep their stock and their bloodline going. So I've applied green to my outer corners. The second colour was a kind of pink. So I'm going to go in with this colour here. Oh, wait. That colour there. I'm going to just apply that over the green and leave a wee space here. So, yeah. Other people that are also accused to be involved in it are also like your big music producers and stuff like that. Like the producer Dr. Luke was actually in charge of Kesha. He's meant to be involved, and if you look at a lot of music videos that he produces and that he makes, a lot of his videos and stuff like that have got really heavy occult symbolism. And if you start to watch music videos, you see that it's this constant symbolism of like dark magic, occult practices. It verges on really, really, really fucked up. Like, it really is. It's really, really strange. The other colour it threw up was blue. So I'm going to go in with this. I'm going to go in with this blue colour here, and I'm going to apply that there, that inner corner of my eye, and then I'll just blend it in. Kesha's music video, I don't know if anyone's ever actually seen it, Die Young, like that music video is just full of Illuminati and dark magic symbolism. Like, or like when that music video came out, it was like, they basically push this in your face and they're like, we're here and we're queer. Not like obviously like that, but like they basically tell you, like what they're known for doing is like hiding in plain sight, and that's what the Illuminati say they do anyway. They're like, we don't actually hide that we're here. We basically make it known. You know, we hide in plain sight. It's just that people choose to ignore it. You know, I'm going to go in with this reddy colour here as well. That was another colour the colour generator picked, was red. I'll throw up the colours on the screen. I hope I've remembered the colours properly because I've saved it as a screenshot on my phone, so I hope I've remembered the correct colours. If I haven't, then this is what we've got. Just need to roll with it. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, so that, so they actually say if you know about them, you start to notice their symbolism and their influence and their power. Like, you start to notice it everywhere. You really do. And if you don't, then you're blind. That's why they say eyes wide shut, because they're everywhere. So it's kind of like a reference to, if you know about us and what we stand for and what our goal is, then you start to notice us everywhere and our symbolism and see our influence everywhere. If you don't, then you're not going to notice it. Like, if you try and tell someone that doesn't know much about it, they'll genuinely think that you're crazy. Like, they'll be like, you're fucking nuts. People, honestly, they will. But they are everywhere. If you please watch the film Eyes Wide Shut and Google as much as you can about this, because it is so interesting, and once you start, you can't stop. The kids' cartoon Alice in Wonderland as well is meant to reference a lot of the Illuminati, and the guy that wrote that film himself was actually meant to be was meant to be a paedophile. So there you go. Do with that what you want. I'm now going to put on some eyeliner. And I don't know what it is with like the child sacrifices. I don't know if it's like it's meant to be as well that they like sell their souls to the devil, and obviously the devil's like he's bad. He's Satan. They have to make sacrifices to appease these gods, and I genuinely think like they're that fucked up that like, oh that's really really dark. They're that fucked up, and they've got that much power that they just kind of see us as cattle. Like, honestly, I think that's what it is, and they think that we're just cattle and they can use us and do what they will with us. I genuinely think that's what it is. And it's weird. It's like the people that you think would help you are actually the ones that are involved. So like really high up members of like courts and stuff like that are meant to be involved, and it's like you can get no help from anyone. I'm trying to think where to go with this, because a lot of it you would be better to research yourself. But it's really really interesting. They're actually known as well, if I was to bring up, I don't know if anyone's heard about MK Ultra. MK Ultra is meant to be like a mind control program that they use to kind of control high up people to kind of bend their will. So it's like people that are really really famous and have got power, these elites will like use that as a way of like controlling the people. Like Britney Spears, for instance, she's meant to be under really severe mind control and this conservatorship. It all starts to link in, and you start to see that when you start reading up about it and finding out about it. You start to see that it all really links in. This video's running for a really long time. I better hurry up and finish this look. So I'm just going to go under my eyes with the red and the colours that are on the top of my eye. Just subtly go underneath with that. Yeah, so if you're in Black Mirror, I actually done an episode with Miley Cyrus where the girl's like a pop singer, but she's been like controlled by like this elite and like controlled by her management. And that was really interesting to watch. It kind of, they always say life imitates art, don't they? They always say that life imitates art. So if you really start looking into this stuff, you start to think to yourself, that's really really weird, and that's starting to really really make sense. So I'm going to just contour. In fact, what I'll do now is I'll contour it and then I'll set it. I'm sorry guys if this hasn't been that in depth. I'm trying my best. It's just it's hard because you can really go down the rabbit hole with this, and there is a lot to read up on, and it can come across very scattered, because it is like going down the rabbit hole, and a lot of the stuff is very scattered everywhere, and I don't think it's just the Illuminati. I think there's like layers to it in different groups. Like you've got the really really high up ones, and then as you start going down and down and down, I think it's all these different groups, and they've got all these different sacrifices and rituals they do, but they're all intertwined to this very top person, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to contour. I'm going to use a powder for this, and I'm going to use, oh that was a lot of fallout. So I'm just going to contour. So yeah, I think it's like if you think of if you think of the pyramid, which is associated with Illuminati, you've got your really really high up ones, and as you start going down, the power balance, you know, you start to see that power, start to see the higher up is the most powerful, and as you go down and down and down, and I think that's why it's so hard to kind of explain what the Illuminati are and what they stand for, because it's like the same machine and they're aiming for the same goal but taking different approaches and different steps to get there, if that makes sense. But they all are aiming and striving for the same agenda. So it's really, really interesting. So I would really advise anybody that's interested in this goes and has like a wee look about it and does a wee bit of research on it, because when you start, it's so interesting. I think I went a bit heavy there with the blush. See how it shows up on camera. It honestly, it's weird and it's strange and it's crazy, because you think, what, these are the people that are like calling the shots, like, really? As I said again, don't ever blow on your brush. So unhygienic. Just going to snatch that nose. So I would really advise that anybody that's interested does go and have like a read up about it. I might do another video on it and do my research like about these certain issues I've spoken about, because it has kind of been all over the place, but then again, that's the way the Illuminati want it to be. They don't want us to be able to pinpoint a certain thing about them or what they actually stand for. They want it to be all over the place, but it's strange how all these certain things and these certain groups and these elites and these secret societies all intertwine to connect and make this bigger thing, like this bigger group, which is really, really weird. Strange. I'm sorry guys if I'm not on the ball today. I've been really, really not well. My mouth's really, really sore, so I'm trying my best to get this done. I'm not actually feeling the best. I've had better days. Really, really have had better days. So let's go in with some baking powder and bake ourselves little cakes. So I've got my baking powder. Oh, I hate the fallout. I just so went off topic now. Oh my god. I really have. So yeah, so definitely read up about them, and I definitely think that they're all involved and that their end goal's all the same, and it's just to like control the elites and control the masses. Not that they already control us as it is, but you know, they want to control us more than they actually already do. Which is fucked up. Like, how much control do y'all want? Do you know what I mean? How much control do y'all hold, man? So we're going to go with some wee stickers. I think we'll do that. I think that'll be cute if we go with these wee stickers. And it's weird, like, I don't know why they wear all, like, the way, I think it is to hide their identity, and I think at these parties anything goes. There's also this really famous artist, Marina Mavokovic or something like that, and she's known for having these like cannibalistic parties where they eat cake that's like in the shape of like a baby or like a human being. But I mean, how fucked up is that? Like, and like the excuse is, oh, it's just art. It's just art. What art of like eating a child? That's art. Who even like would think of that? Oh, I'm going to be artistic and let's eat a cake that looks like a human baby, because that's artistic. Like, Fucking shut the door, get out of here. Seriously. These gems are like 40 pieces. Do you know what? We'll stick one at the end. No, we won't. Oh, it's cheap and nasty, y'all. Cheap and nasty. We're just going to leave the bottom ones. We'll just leave the bottom ones. So I'm going to apply some lippy. I just sweep away the setting powder. Sorry, the baking powder. Honestly, but it's weird. So we're nearly halfway there. These wee gems look so cute. We'll go in with a really bright pink matte lipstick to just make it pop. My god, this video's like half an hour long. So guys, this is the finished look. I'm just going to apply my wig and then we'll see the whole look when it comes together. So this is the finished look. I just got this lovely pink wig, so I thought that would go with like the eye makeup. Just need to kind of stick it down a wee bit at the sides. So this is the finished look. I'm sorry I went on a wee bit in this video and it was a bit all over the place. I will do my research next time before I actually start. I did do my research, but it is everywhere. And as I said, I wasn't feeling too great. So I will try next time to, you know, do a wee bit more of my research before I, you know, maybe have it wrote down. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you'd like to see me talk more in depth about this, comment below and let me know. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and have a lovely week. Bye.